3 huge mistakes to avoid when buying a home. Now, I know the home buying process is exciting, and once you've made that decision to get into the process of buying a home, most people just want to run out the door and start looking at houses. But there's actually 3 main things you need to do to avoid so that you don't get taken advantage of and lose money or possibly lose the home of your dreams. Before we get into that, I'm Kinn. I've been in the DFW Metroplex for 21 years helping families just like yours buy and sell real estate. And I'd love to talk to you about your home buying needs and what you're looking for in the Metroplex and how we can help you. We've been doing this a long time, and I know that we offer things that other agents just can't. So let's dive right into the 3 mistakes. Number 1 is not talking to a lender before you start looking at homes. Now, I know that seems very easy. People are like, I know what I can qualify for. I'm on Credit Karma. I have 780 credit score. That's awesome. Credit Karma gives you a baseline of what you can or maybe can't buy and gives you an idea of what your credit is, but you need to talk to a lender that's going to pull your full credit history and tell you exactly, based on very specific items, what kind of home you can qualify for, including your income, your debt to income ratios, other items that you may have forgot about, like liens, or maybe you're paying child support or something like that you didn't necessarily think about. It just happens every day that could affect your ability to buy the home that you're thinking. So one of the worst things that happens for a real estate agent is that when we trust a buyer and just go out and say, hey, they can afford $500,000, and we show them $500,000 homes, and then they find the best home that they want, and we go to a lender at that point, they're like, they can only afford $450,000. Now every other home they look for and look at pale in comparison to that $500,000 house. So we never want that to happen. So the very first step is a lender. And realistically, it shouldn't be something that you fear. It's an easy process. You can do a lot of it online. A lot of them take online apps. You just fill out the data. They come back to you with a phone call and kind of go through your numbers. The good lenders will have a good video of everything that you could qualify for, what different prices and different down payments mean for your actual overall payment. Why I said a good lender is this is maybe 1A, is you want to have a local lender, in my opinion. Anytime I've dealt with a big box lender, and I'm probably going to get some hate mail for this, but any big box like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Bank, the process always seems more difficult than it has to be. They take longer to get things done. Appraisals a lot of times come in trickier because they order their appraisal from a huge pool, and that appraiser may come from 3 hours away and not know anything about this market. And unfortunately, that affects you as when you're buying the house. So I always recommend a local lender. Even if you're moving here from out of state and your California lender is licensed in Texas, it's just better to have somebody locally. They just know the market better. They know what programs locally are out there that could save you thousands of dollars or points off your interest rate. The 1B with the local lender is you want to choose somebody that you trust and that's good with communication and that's good in communication with your realtor. Now, we've got several of them that we can refer you to, and I would definitely encourage you to use them versus a big box lender, somebody else we just talked about. Mistake number 2 is getting excited because you're under contract and going out and buying furniture or appliances or things like that on credit cards. Because what that does is that affects your debt to income ratio. I've got a video all about that and how it hurts you and maybe cost you from being able to buy that home altogether. The third mistake to avoid is not using a real estate agent. Now, I know that seems a little self-ingratiating, saying, hey, you need to use me. And that's not the case at all. You can use whoever you feel the best and you have the best connection with, but you need to use a real estate agent. Looking at homes through Zillow and Realtor.com and all those online portals is great. It really is. You get a lot of good information, but sometimes the information in there is inaccurate. We've seen many times homes posted on there that are never for sale. because we call them and they're like, no, we didn't even know our home was being advertised, and it's a scam. We also see homes in there that are under contract because we have unique times in our contract, one of them called an option period. Okay, so in Texas, we have an option period. It's 5 to sometimes 14 days that you can inspect the property, negotiate repairs. Well, Zillow doesn't know what that option period is. So they don't put it in the computer system as active option. They just leave it active until it goes pending. Well, realistically, it already has an accepted contract on it. So why would you want to go and waste your time looking at that home? Again, you don't want to fall in love with a home that you can't end up purchasing. The other issue with not using a real estate agent is a lot of people think, oh, they're just really expensive. They're going to cost so much money. You know, all of their knowledge and advice, so on and so forth, is going to cost me. And actually, it's quite the opposite. We don't charge you anything. The seller actually pays our commission. We negotiate directly with the seller to pay our commission. So what you're hiring is you're hiring a professional that does have experience negotiating contracts, knowing when good markets or bad markets or where to stay away from because they're building a Walmart right behind the house here in a few months. So there's things that you may not be up to speed on that we are. And it's important that you establish that relationship early on so that person can really help guide you through the entire process. Buying real estate is not a single moment in time. It's a process. It's not an event. So we want to treat it just as that. There's certain things you should do in certain orders, and we want to make sure that you're covered all the way throughout that entire process. And the third thing is people think, well, I'm buying a new home. They have one of those new home sales representatives there. Well, actually they do, and they work for the builder. They're paid by that builder. The title company is paid by that builder or usually owned by the builder. Their lender, typically the same thing. So there's a lot of people that are working for that builder and no one representing your best interests. And most builders have our fee or our commission built right into the marketing of their property. So when they tell you, oh, you don't need a realtor, it's because they're actually going to save that money and put that towards their bottom line. Pretty good for the builder, really bad for you, the buyer. So those are 3 big things to avoid when you're looking to purchase a home, your first home, second home, any home. And actually there's several more interlaced in there that we can help walk you through and guide you through that process. We would love to do that. And I would love it if you would do me a huge favor, like this video, subscribe to our channel. It really helps us. Forward this to other people that you know that may be buying or selling real estate here in the future. We've tried to post videos, one long form like this every single week and shorter ones that are easily consumed. Try to do it every day. One, to inform you on what's happening in our local marketplace and to give you ideas on what you can do with your home sale or your home purchase. So if you could do me a huge favor and like and subscribe, it'd mean the world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day.